When you've got a race, but a disco in the evening, this is a shoe that you'll pick. Disco-esque, yeah. Gotta love it, eh? Gotta love my unofficial theme tune. Hopefully every time you watch my videos you'll be humming along to that song. When you hear that song you'll know Runningman Sam is about to talk about a shoe. So I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone that's joined the channel recently and for viewing and liking. It really helps this channel grow. So today I'm going to talk about another one of my favourite shoes. This is definitely one of my favourite long run and easy run shoes. We're going to be doing the Saucony Endorphin Shift. Ooh. So as usual I want to talk over the shoe in terms of an easy run, how it scores on an easy run, how it scores on a long run, and how it will score on a faster day or a tempo day or a race day. As usual I cover the midsole, the upper, the outsole, everything in between, the drop, the stats, but I don't score the midsoles and the uppers etc. because that doesn't really translate to how you would use this shoe. I like to keep this scoring relevant so that you know that this shoe is for a long run, this shoe is for a faster day. So let's break those categories down. Easy run, I'm just talking about the pace, so your sort of zone 2 or easy perceived effort, like a 2 to say 5 mile recovery run. So that's what that one will be when I score that. A long run is obviously as it sounds. Long run really I'm going to sort of score from anything between sort of a 7 mile and then above. Fast scoring is basically, would you use this for tempo days? Would you use it for a race? Would you use it for intervals? Those sorts of things. And of course I talk about value. Now the only thing that stops people buying a shoe most of the time is how much the shoe costs. Okay, so let's kick off as always with some of the stats and statistics. Gotta love a stat of a shoe, I love it. So this is a men's size UK 11.5 and I'm going to say that this does fit true to size. You do have a lot of room in the toe box, but you're not got too much room in there that is sliding all over the place. It's just, in my opinion, the right amount of room. You have 38mm of stack in the heel, 34mm of stack in the toe, which if you're good at maths is a 4mm heel to toe drop. Quite a wide toe box in here, which is really good. I love that on my toes. It feels nice to be able to get a nice spread on the toes. In terms of weight for this shoe weighs 12.5 ounces. This is for my size, not the website. So this is a size 11.5 men's UK. So 12.5 ounces, which is 352 grams. That is on a fairly heavy side for a shoe. We're not going to go into too much detail now, just talking about the specs, but I just want to say that you don't really, well I don't really feel that heaviness when I run in it. So if we just quickly cover the outsole here, you've got a lot of rubber in these areas. I'm not seeing a lot of wear on this shoe considering I've done about 160, 170 miles. We have a little firmer bit here on the medial side, but that doesn't really affect your gait. We have what's called, this yellow bit here, we have what is called speed roll technology with a slight rocker shape. So this speed roll technology, it's just supposed to be getting your foot through the gait cycle slightly faster. And I would say it does work. You do sort of feel that rocking sensation. It does sort of just help get you moving forward a little bit. So as always, we're going to talk about value first. You want to know whether this shoe is worth spending your hard-earned cash on. So this shoe is $129.99. So for value, I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 5. That's because $129.99 isn't super duper expensive. It's not one of the most expensive shoes you can get, and you do get a lot for your money with it. So why have I not scored it higher than 3.5 out of 5? Well, that's just because if you've watched my if you've watched my Reebok Simitros video or Reebok Float Ride 2 video, which you can find in my channel below, so go and give it a watch. but you'll see that those shoes are, especially the Symmetros, they're just as cushioned, just as comfortable, and a lot cheaper. So that's why I can't score these higher than that. We've got to be true to the system when we're scoring them. So let's move on to scoring this for an easy day. Like I said, an easy day is just a nice 3 to 5 mile run at your sort of zone 2 or easily perceived effort run. So I'm going to score this shoe a 4 out of 5 for your easy runs. And as I said, I'm going to break that down into why. So the step-in feel of this is really comfortable. The foam, the Power Run foam, is not very soft. It is quite firm, but not aggressively firm. It's like a stable, firm feeling. It doesn't feel really compressive like something like Zoom X. It's, I guess, a little bit like React, but a little bit firmer than React. It does really absorb impact. I've put a lot of miles into this shoe. I've run it anywhere between an easy 5k up to about 20 miles, a 20-mile run I think I've done in this shoe. The only reason it's not 5 out of 5 is because it is a touch heavy. I don't necessarily feel that, but sometimes for an easier run you might maybe want a slightly lighter shoe, just maybe so you don't feel like you're dragging it about. So that moves us swiftly onto the long run scoring. So obviously there is a difference between an easy run and a long run. You might have a shoe that feels really good for an easy run, but doesn't quite have that support and protection there for a longer run that you will crave towards those last few miles when your form's all over the place and you're struggling. So this shoe is going to score higher in terms of a long run than it would for an easy run, just because personally I think this is more built for a longer run. You've got a lot of protection underneath with a big stack height of foam, a nice supportive, firm but not too firm foam. Now really don't let that put you off. It's not a super firm feeling. It's not like running in sort of like an Addio 5 or something like that is really firm. This does feel nice, it just doesn't feel overly mushy. A lot of support in this shoe, okay? You've got a really nice heel count around here that keeps the heel nice and stable. You've got a lot of, I mean, this is why it scores high on a long run, because you've got a lot of nice cushion and padding in the heel. The tongue feels nice. Like I say, you've got a lot of room in the toe box, so towards the end of a run, if your feet are swelling up, they're not sort of feeling all, we always do it, they're not feeling all screwed up in the toe box. So that's why this is a good long run shoe. I am going to give this full marks for a long run. It's going to get 5 out of 5, and that is because this shoe is the most comfortable shoe that I've got. It's my favourite long run shoe. Okay, so that brings us on to the final score of the day, which is going to be your faster run, your tempos, your intervals, things like that. Now, obviously, as you know, I've got a lot of shoes, between 30 and 36 shoes that I all still use. This is definitely by no means a fast shoe in terms of would I pick it for interval, race day or anything like that. This is my long run, my easy run shoe. This shoe doesn't have a carbon fibre plate. The foam isn't, it's responsive, and the speed roll technology does help you to get you moving, but it's not really sort of, it's not poppy, it's not like rocketing you forward. It's not like a Pebax foam. It's not like the pogo sticks of the Nikes in the background there, or the Addio Pro. It's not like its older or faster brother there, the Saucony Endorphin Speed, which has got a Pebax foam in it and a nylon plate. This is designed to be plush, it is designed to be comfortable, it is designed to be supportive, which obviously means it's not necessarily designed for speed, and that's fine. We don't buy a shoe, you know, sometimes we buy a shoe that does everything, sometimes we want specific shoes. I'm going to give this shoe a 3 out of 5, and that's because the foam is still responsive. The speed roll technology does help get you moving, but it's a heavy shoe. In terms of all the shoes I own, I think it's actually my heaviest shoe, which doesn't bother me because it's heavy to be supportive. This is what I put on my foot if I want to feel all lovely and tasty when I'm running. I just want to feel like a nice sensation in my feet. But we can't score it higher than 3 out of 5 because it doesn't have the plate. It's just not designed for speed, and that's fine. So as always, we've got the total of the shoe up here. It's a pretty good all-round shoe, as you can see. It's very good for easy runs and very good for longer runs. It's good for comfort and support. It just feels nice. It's pretty good value for money, I would say. It looks cool. We've got some more colourways come out just recently. It's fairly available as well, which is good. A lot of shoes that you want to get at the moment, you just can't seem to get anywhere. So yeah, this has been the Saucony Endorphin Shift. I've been Runningman Sam, and I will see you in a bit.